Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to work on our Ford 3000 tractor that we got. If y'all ain't seen that, go back and watch it. We're going to try to wash it up. We got to put an ignition switch on it, just a few other little odd end things. Then we're going to put it to work. Y'all stay tuned. So yes, this is a 67 model Ford 3000 diesel. It's got a few little quirks, but for the most part, it's a pretty good old tractor. One of the things that we're going to have to do to it is I'm tired of jumping it off right here at this old ignition switch. So we went and bought us another universal switch with keys. We're going to put that and get that installed. In the other video that I showed you, there was a fuel line or a return line in here underneath that battery box. I just had a piece of small 5/16 fuel line, rubber line. I just fixed that already, so I could drive it around some, kind of get a feel for it. It is nasty, as you can tell, so we're gonna try to wash it and all that and try to get ready to put it to work. So that's what we're going to be doing. I've also noticed that the RPM gauge don't work, and if your Ford RPM gauge don't work like that on these particular models, these models came with generators, okay? And on the back side of that generator, you have an outlet for your RPM gauge. This one's been converted to alternator. The cable's stuck up in here where it should go in here if it was a generator. So yes, I know the RPM gauge is not going to work. If I put the traditional original generator back on it, it might would work. If I can find some sort of an adapter type system to make that work, or figure out a different way. If any of y'all knows a way to do that, drop it down in the comments and let me know. I like to have the RPM gauge, but I'm old school. I've had several tractors that ain't never had RPMs. I got ears. As long as I can hear and smell and see, then I'm not too much worried about it, but it would be nice to have it functional again. So for the most part, that's all that I know that's wrong with it, that the stuff that don't work. I don't think the fuel gauge works, which nobody ever worries about a fuel gauge. But everything else works. I do have to check this alternator once I get this new ignition switch on and make sure it's putting out, because eventually I do want to put lights on it. You see where that had a light at one time, and of course this one's busted out. Probably going to do some 6-inch round, I don't know, LEDs, and I will be doing that because I'd like to do a little bit of night work with it. I'll get rid of some of these old lights and put in LEDs for work lights in the back. But you know, that's all in due time. I have been pricing the canopies for these. I like the old look of them old canopies on these old tractors. Basically, it looks like a bimini top on a boat. It's got the bars that runs up and over, like 3 or 4 bars for framework, and then it has a canvas. I've always liked that look, and out here in these hay fields, I'm going to need it. So anyway, talking too much, let's just get started with this. I'm gonna get this off, put this switch on, make sure it works, and then we'll proceed to clean up. So this center one is your start wire. That's a must. Get our new switch out. And we'll use the supplied nuts that came with it. So we know that this one was the start. We're just going to put it on here loosely until we know it's not going to hit anything in the casing or anything like that. This one here is battery, and it's labeled on here, you can tell. Instead of tracing all these wires back down, which somebody's been goobering on these wires too, it looks like. We're just going to take the battery off. We'll put battery on for this one. And this one is connected to the accessory, the ACC. I don't know what it's about. We're just going to hook it up the way it was. If something ain't right, then we can just start tracing wiring and things like that. But for time being, the whole purpose of this is the guy I got it from, he couldn't find the key for it, so it's not that big a deal. Just have to go buy a new switch and hook it up. Uh-oh. I'm dropping them here already. Now, if you didn't want to put a key switch on it, you really don't have to, in a way. You could just hook you up a, this is diesel. It doesn't take 12 volts for the engine kill or anything like that, because everything's mechanical. So in theory, you could just put a push button on it, but you know, I have kids and things like that, and I don't want somebody out here playing on that and like they driving, all of a sudden crank it up and it runs into something. That wouldn't be good. So we're gonna try to halfway do it right. Fill up in here and make sure there's nothing that'll hit. I'm gonna tighten these down and see if we can't. We're gonna make sure it works before we try to shove it all up in there. And I know you can't see what I'm doing, but basically I'm gonna put these nuts on this, then we'll hook the battery up and try it. All right, we got the ignition switch in. We're gonna hook the battery up and give it a try and see what happens. All right, battery's hooked up. It's in neutral. Fuel is pushed back in. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. See how the tack is not working? Alternator's working. That's good. All right, so key switch is working. Alternator was working. Y'all seen that? Man, oh man. Well, it's about time to give this nasty old thing a bath. Now we're going to pressure wash everything, but all these oily soaked up areas, we're going to use some oven cleaner. It works great. I think it works better than the stuff you buy at the store for like engine degreasers. I think it does better and it's cheaper. So we're going to get started on that. I got to go turn my water on and get everything set up. All right, so for heavy oil cake soaked areas like this, we're going to use some good old oven spray and oven cleaner. And we just going to get it all soaked up really good. That way it comes off fairly easy. With this pressure washer. I know it ain't the best pressure washer in the world, but you know what? Better than a garden hose anyway. We're gonna soak all this down real good. And then we'll get that pressure washer going. A lot of oil back here too. This thing ought to look like a brand new tractor when I get done with it. Let's hope anyway. Take it on to the other side. Power steering oil leaks. I bought some AT205. A buddy of mine told me about it. Mr. Jesse, if you watching. Hey, bud. Yeah, he told me about it, and it's pretty good stuff. I used it in a couple of these other tractors for stop leaks. It'll work in your gear casings and engine, hydraulics, all that good stuff. And it's pretty good stuff. Most of your shops use it. So, got some of that. Boy, this stuff's pretty potent. Pardon me. Got downwind of it. Hits you pretty good. Guess I need to get my tools up too, don't I? Who'd ever thought that was blue, right? It's coming off pretty good. And the hood come off really good. Alright, so I'm gonna finish this up and I'll bring you back. Not bad for the electric pressure washer. And of course, you know, that oven clean helped it, because that you couldn't even see. That was just all grime and grease. That too. Hey, there's some blue underneath there. So I think it come out pretty good. Hood come out pretty good. I was really pleased with the front grill. It got it wider than what it was. I will have to do some touch-ups, and I gotta find me some blue. But overall, I think it done pretty good. Now I'm gonna try to get this thing hooked up to my bush hog and Get a little bush hogging done. Put it through its paces a little bit before I park it for the day. So I got to go get that TO20 unhooked from the bush hog and hook this one up. Y'all just bear with me. Tech tip of the day: even if you're using a crappy pressure washer, don't go so hard on your decals. About ripped that one off from a shift pattern, so that's good. It's been several weeks since I fired this jewel up. Surprised I ain't got no bee nest around here popping me already, because they sure likes to do that. Check the oil. Looks good. Water level. Oh yeah, nice and green and in there. Wonder if there's any gas in it. Yep, it's about full. If you're new to the channel and you ain't never seen this tractor, go back and watch all my videos on the TO20. And you'll kind of get caught up to speed on it. It's a pretty good old tractor. I don't think I'll be getting rid of it anytime soon. I kind of enjoy it, even though it's older traditional. It's perfect for little stuff. Now, let's see if I can do all this one-handed and crank this jewel up. I want you to look at there. I got to do the walk of shame and go get the key. Would you believe that? Dadgummit. Alright, we got the key. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to have to work the choke and do all this. Maybe y'all can rest right there. she's hooked up. Let's see what she can do. Well, we got about 2 acres cut. I'm gonna call it a day. However, the old girl did good. She never ran hot. She struggled a little bit in that super thick grass, but she done pretty good. Now, all you Ford tractor connoisseurs out there, I've got a technical question for you, and I'm hoping you can answer it for me. I was under the impression, and on my research, that this had a live independent PTO. However, I could not get this to work but in the gear slash driven PTO. And after messing with it, I still ain't got it figured out. This is your PTO lever, but it doesn't have any indentions for engine, or it only has one. Now, like I say, all my research that I looked up, it showed that it was live PTO. So, tell me what I'm missing here. Is there something special on this Ford that I don't know about? Because with that in mind, that's not going to work for me on this baler. I have to have live, independent, working off the clutch type PTO. I mean, I could use it, but I don't want to deal with the aggravation. So, you Ford guys out there, drop it in the comments. Explain it to me. Let me know. Because I'm kind of buffaloed right now. But overall, she cut good. She done good. You barely used maybe a gallon of diesel in that whole 2 acres of heavy cutting. But, I don't know. I need y'all to help me figure this one out. Is it not catching in the detent for a different position? I see no arrows or wording on the casings on which way that should go. That's the only way it can go. So please enlighten me and let me know. I always call live PTO, and it could be me, I always call live PTO where it has a 2-stage clutch and works off either gear driven from ground speed or engine speed. So I need to figure all this out, because that may change the directions on where I'm gonna go with this. I'll still use this tractor, probably for raking or whatever, but I may not be able to pull the baler with it. I don't know. But I'm still pleasantly happy with the purchase. It ran great, done great. So anyway, y'all let me know. Like I say, you Ford guys, let me know. I need to know what's going on with this. I don't claim to know everything. Don't know a lot about the Fords. This is my first one. I'm gonna get some learning experience on it, of course, I'm sure. But please drop it in the comments and let me know. I need to figure this out. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next video.